Hey, my YouTube subscribers, and welcome back. This is a Southern's Thing, and today we're going over Presumed Innocent. This is going to be a movie that will be presented on June the 12th for Apple TV. So I hope that you like, comment, and subscribe, and enjoy the video.
To whoever may need this nugget of encouragement, things will be alright, so quit your worrying. I get it, the odds seem stacked back against the wall, but even consider it such, no, you'll stand tall.
Presumed Innocence is thriller, and I'm telling you, it is a must-read book. It's one that is full of thrills and chills. It is a very interesting read. Now, the book was made back in the day, 1980, so it is a little dated, but they're going to be remaking the movie into a series with some of our interesting characters that we like to see daily. And this is going to be one that's presented on June the 12th for Apple TV. I want to tell you guys that this video is for entertainment purposes only and for opinion based only. So I hope you guys enjoy. Like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget about our comments, our social media platforms. We have our Telegram, we have our Instagram, and then we also have our TikTok. You guys, I will have some spoiler alerts in this video as well. So please don't fault me for it. I am so sorry, but I enjoy telling books all the way through in entirety. So I hope this is something that you will enjoy. And then to see it being brought to life. Now, this book has already been brought to life once before with Harrison Ford. It's an older video that's been out, I think, 1990. But now they're going to be remaking it again. Apple TV has decided to bring it to life, and I'm just going to be talking about the book review for today. So we got Rusty, who is the main character in the book and who's really going to be speaking as the main narrator in the book. Rusty is one of the leading guys for the DA's office, and at the start of it, we get to understand a little bit about him, his history with his family and everything. But now we are noticing that there is a murder, and it is a close friend to Rusty by the name of Carolyn. Now, Carolyn also worked in the DA office, and she does have a lot of relationships with a lot of the people and different politics that happen within the office. A very, sweet, mild-mannered girl, but she was very friendly is the best way I can put it. She has been found murdered in her home, and Rusty is asked to be put onto the case by the lead guy. And what happens is, as he's investigating this, it's some people and some things that happen that makes it hard for him to get his case done. There's a detective by the name of Moto who is missing on the day of Carolyn's murder, and his desk is completely cleared out. There is a running of the new mayor from one of the co-workers, prosecuting attorney that's decided to become mayor. And Rusty is dealing with all of this while he's trying to still identify who is the killer of Carolyn. Now, as we learn later on, that Carolyn is not only Rusty's friend, but also her lover. Sorry, spoiler alert for those who have not read the book or has seen that movie with Harrison Ford. But she definitely was Rusty's go-to person. They worked on a couple of cases. One in particular was of a young boy who was abused by his mother. And this is where they actually got to know each other and draw close. She really pretty much saw how he worked and how he really at first didn't want to be a part of the case, but once he got involved, he gave it his all, and she saw that, and that sparked an attraction with them, and then they ended up having relations. The evidence in the case of Carolyn being murdered in her home was a couple of things. Glass was a lot, and glassware was all over the place, and it had some fingerprints on it. There was phone records that they were trying to obtain, and then there was chit chat through a lot of people throughout the office. So we find out that Miss Carolyn, I said, was friendly, and she definitely was that. We find out that she has had mix-ins with not only Rusty, but also the person who is the lead boss in the office, who is the prosecuting attorney. And he is the one who's running for mayor. He is the one who also had relations with Miss Carolyn. And then it was a few other people. So as we make our way through, it comes to a point when Rusty is our main suspect. And when Rusty becomes the main suspect, everyone turns against him. Only just to save their own butt, because once they find out the dealings that he had with Carolyn, and then they're trying to cover their own selves because they also had dealings with Carolyn, it kind of made a lot of people suspects in Rusty's mind, but everybody was trying to point the finger to Rusty. So in the book, we get the full case. We get a couple of people who were at the apartment, neighbors who said that they saw Rusty. We have the glassware that has Rusty's fingerprints on it. We have the phone records that shows that she and him had conversations with each other, leading up to the incident. And then we also have, like I said, the chit chat of the people who said in the office that they had a personal relationship with each other. When we get to the court case, it was a circus. It was really a circus because, first off, we have the judge whose name is Linder, who is basically in cahoots with the prosecuting attorney who's running for mayor. And we find out that Miss Carolyn had also a relationship with Mr. Judge. We also find that some of the testimonies of the witnesses at the apartment weren't really telling the truth. They couldn't really identify him exactly because I guess they thought that all white people look alike. And then the fingerprints, we could not deny the phone calls, but like I said, they had cases together, so it really didn't add up to why they were using that as much. Moto and one other person was the prosecutors in the case, and then Rusty had his own attorney who was very suave and really worked hard for Rusty. So once we saw the holes that were in the prosecuting's evidence, they did find that Rusty was innocent. Now, throughout this whole entire book, we didn't really get an understanding of who could the killer be until the end. And they kind of kept this person out of the limelight because that would make the shocker of who the killer was. Once we got the understanding that it was Rusty's wife who killed Carolyn, and I'm sorry for the spoiler alert, I should have said that beforehand. That is the shocker. And the reason of her doing it is to basically just get back at Rusty, because she felt like she had gave him kids, she had gave him a good life, and she supported him through everything. And then he turns and has an affair with Miss Carolyn, and it just really just tore their marriage apart. So I'm going to leave you clues on why I did this and hopefully you will come up with it. I didn't think that you were going to get out. This is by Barbara, the wife. But I didn't think that you was going to be able to get out. But I'm glad you did. And I'm going to divorce you and I'm going to move to Detroit and I'm going to take my son with us and I'm going to go ahead and live my life and hopefully they don't catch me. And they didn't. And Rusty just to start, working again and hopefully getting a judge seat and working toward basically getting his life back in order. The book was great. The movie was great too. And I wanted to talk about both parts, talking about the book. So we just finished the book, and so now I'm moving on into the movie with Harrison Ford. Some of the things, like a book normally does, it just doesn't introduce certain things that we didn't see. So like certain characters, some of the testimonies, all that stuff. So I do encourage you to read it I do encourage you to read it if you want to understand some of the characters. And some parts weren't in the book, like how he found out that it was his wife. Basically, in the book, she says, I'm setting this up because I gave you the best life I could. You didn't want to do anything that I asked you to do. So that's why we separated. And I like the way that you treat our son and how you can still, make money for us and make sure that we good. But I gave you pretty much everything I had and you decided to still have an affair with this woman and try to still have relations with me as well throughout this whole time. So what was it something that I did? She just wanted to make him miserable. I can't go into some of the details because they are kind of graphic as far as like how Miss Carolyn was, demised. And so if you want to read the book and maybe the Apple TV series will go into it. But the movie had some different parts to it. So that's why I'm going to be very interested to see how Apple TV is going to do it, because the story in the book compared to the story with Harrison Ford was a little different. Most of it was about the same, but a little different. And then we'll just see what happens. So I enjoyed reading the book. I hope you guys are enjoying this content and these book reviews. Please make sure that you follow us on our platforms so that we can discuss some of these books. I'll be happy to read your comments as you drop them in. I will be posting more content and more books like these in the future as we continue on. So like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys.
Soundstripe. Hey, to whoever may need this nugget of encouragement, things will be alright, so quit your worrying. I get it, the odds seem stacked back against the wall, but even consider it such, no, you'll stand tall. Sat and watch from the sidelines one too many times. Wicked games we play make me wanna lose my mind. Found solid